Hello again, darlings. It is your resident Auntie Sarcy back for more snarky commentary because it's what we do. We gotta keep it fresh, but we still have to keep it as honest as we can, okay? Again, this is just sardonic, snarky satire, so don't take it too seriously now. Anyway, darlings, I am again grateful for all of my 146 subscribers. Our goal is 200 subscribers. We're nearly there. And thank you again for continuing to support my itty bitty channel. Even though I don't have anything special where like most YouTubers would have like flashy things, they have banners and all that good stuff. And it's great for them. Your Auntie Cersei is not very techy. So, still learning that slowly, very slowly. But I'm glad that you guys are enjoying my snarky little commentaries anyway. So, let's get back to Selling the OC Season 3's episode. This one is called Reactions Have Consequences. They do. In a lot of our lives, in a lot of aspects of our lives, how we react, when we react, who to react at, and and vice versa. Each of those are actions that have consequences. So let's get right on it. And if you didn't know by now, honestly, if Polly, a resident snarky Brit, is alone with Hall, they're going to converse about the most random subjects, such as like pleasuring oneself by the way of. This is not about themselves, by the way, or the other agents. This is directed at their yoga teacher. I mean, good lord. These two are so cray cray. Anywho, the subject of Kayla came up because, from what we've seen, holy cow, she has the listing for $22 million and she's praying it sells. Look, all hands on deck for this one because it would be a good look for the O group and for Kayla too. So she's got assistants in her corner helping her get this property sold. And I hope it does. I really do. I mean, I hope they sell older listings, every one of the agents, because real estate is a beast on its own. It is not for the faint of heart. And honestly, Polly and Hall are such mean girls sometimes. Anywho, the conversation segged into Tyler and Hall because I know the whole mess of Hall pretending not to chase after Tyler, but she's actually low key chasing after him. Um, that is wildly apparent. She could have told Tyler to forget dating him, or her, and just like remain friends, like when they were at Hall's listing, the previous episode. But no, she didn't. She could have asked Tyler to set boundaries, he needs to conform to. So it's just like officially courting her, but she didn't. She's like this wide eyed teenager pining for her crush. So close, yet so far. Now then, let's venture back to selling homes. And Austin is showing off his listing to Jason, who is impressed at the property. This is called the Ritz Cove. And he hopes, Austin sells it too, because obviously the commission would really be helpful for Austin and his family in buying their a home for their growing family. But of course, Jason's not going to waste this opportunity to talk to Austin to address the elephant in the room that is Sean versus Austin and Tyler and everybody else. And while Jason seems to have viewed things from Austin's perspective, he also reiterated to Austin that there is zero room for physicality either in the office or elsewhere. It's a real bad look for the company. Seriously. For his part, Austin does apologize for his actions and he hopes to do better. And hopefully he doesn't have another blow up. Good lord. Jeez. Sir, if you can, just walk away. If you can, safely, okay? Jeez, Nets. And now for some lighthearted competition. Let's hit the beach and the volleyball courts. But that's short lived because apparently Hall's loose lips have landed her in the middle of another controversy, and this time it is still about her frenemy Kayla. Like, WTF, Hall? Did she have a crush on Kayla or something? Because Kayla seems to be a focus in her mind. Girl, what is going on? If it's not Tyler, it's Kayla. Get with the program, girl. Stop that nonsense. So back to the controversy. It's apparently regarding a podcast that Hall was on where she was slandering a nameless realtor with crazy, wild accusations, going as far as to say that realtor needs to be medicated, needs to go to a mental institute, and although the full podcast has not been released, the snippets of these have been heard by the agents, and it was enough to send them into a tailspin. And of course, Hall tries to snake her way out of that subject by claiming she wasn't actually speaking of any of the ladies in particular. However, when she was speaking to the ladies while they were at the beach, Kayla was not present because Kayla had already walked away to take a call. So it begs the question, did Hall mean none of the girls in front of her? Or did she mean none of the girls in the O group, period? Because that would include Kayla. Um, uh, Again, because she was the only one not with the ladies when Hall was being interrogated by Brandy, by Ellie Harper, and Jarvis was also present. So I don't know. Anyway, look, we've seen Hall pick and choose who she wants to shit talk, and this is no different. She is who she is, and if she just owned that, I think the ladies would appreciate her candor more. If only she rewatches herself on the show to see just how douchey she can be. I mean, she's giving Gio a run for his money. I'm just saying. That made me chuckle, sorry. So let's seg into some more fabulous ideas. Like, Brandy is actually pitching a sports division to Jason, who is totally open to this idea. We know that Brandy's expertise is selling to athletes. And since her husband trains athletes to become pros, um, this is like right up her alley, right? She's like smack dab in the middle of it. And again, who better to actually get this off the ground than Brandy? She can tap into her already close by resources and boom, ching ka-ching. Way to go, Brandy. Congratulations, girl. Now let's get back to the podcast. Okay. So Jarvis actually got a hold of the full interview and she shares this with Kayla. I mean, Hall was actually having a verbal diarrhea in that interview, and oh boy, is it damning. Hall did not hold back in that interview or podcast, and my lord, the vitriol she was spewing against Kayla, who she actually named, is out of this world. You would have thought Kayla stole Hall's like firstborn or something. I mean, holy cow. Hall probably would really prefer Kayla to work elsewhere and sell homes in another state at this point. Sheesh, girl. Speaking of families and their offsprings, we do see Austin and his wife tour a home, and oh, whoa. Whoa. The woman has higher expectations. That she does. Like a whole lot of space. And not this two-bedroom home for $2 million that her husband is showing her and hoping to afford. Like, girl, I get it. You're a stay-at-home mom who obviously holds it down in the home front, but to scoff at a $2 million home, girl, how much money do you actually have stored in the bank? Straight up side eyeing you right now. Like, unless she's going to get herself a side hustle, she should be a little bit more grateful that her husband is trying his best to give her and their children the best. I'm not saying she's a bad person, But did she forget the cameras were rolling? Some people who are already leaps and bounds ahead of others still prefer to focus on the dust on the table rather than the roses in the vase. I'm just saying, girl, a little humility and like gratitude won't hurt you. Now then, back to the drama because we all know the season is packed full of it and we are here for each of them. Allie Harper, the newest addition to the O group, but she's still a student trying to get her real estate license, I think. She just can't seem to to swallow. She's not, I can't even talk. The vial that she's been like nursing because as soon as Hall walked into another of the O group's open houses, she lost her cool and she had to confront Hall. She just had to. And funnily, when she was like tapping on that window or like, I don't know, was it tapping or knocking on that window? She actually, she looked to me, right? She looked to me like Erin Brockovich did when she would knock on people's doors in the movie of the same title. It wasn't like a door, but it was like a glass window. I mean, the poor window. It sounded like it would break from how hard Allie was banging on it. Like, girl, okay, I know that you were trying to get somebody's like attention, but damn, could you do like the confrontation elsewhere? I mean, this is not. It's time and place, girl. There's just a time and place for things like these to hash out your grievances with another, even with a coworker, and definitely not at your own office's open house, girl. A little self control and decorum, please. Wasn't she like Miss North Carolina or something like that, or Miss Tennessee or something? Anyway, you don't want Jason to put you on timeout now, do you? And you haven't even received your license yet. And before the episode ends, Jason tells Austin the bad news. Unfortunately, look, he's not getting fired, okay? So let's get that out in the open. He is, however, going to lose the listing as the listing agent for the Ritz Cove property because apparently the seller has caught wind of the argument and subsequent physicality between Austin and Sean and didn't really care for that type of behavior. Okay, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. Maybe the seller is also a business person who wants to ensure their reputation is not besmirched by people they work with. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a difficult pill to follow for sure. Oh my gosh, it's a difficult pill to swallow. Jeez, Nets, I told you guys, I do not know how to speak anymore. But I hope Austin learns from this and moves forward with a better outlook. Seriously. And hopefully, his wife doesn't put him on timeout for losing that commission. I'm just saying. You know your resident auntie is very snarky. And with that, darlings, we end this episode. Reaction have consequences of selling the OC season 3. Remember, don't stop being fabulous you because that's all you can be is be fabulous little you. And try to remember to leave some grace for others. And also remember to always journey in gratitude. Darling dears, I shall talk to you later at the next go round.